You know what I wish someone would have told me when I was in my mid-30s? What perimenopause was. Raise your hand at home right now if you can relate to me right now if you didn't know what perimenopause was until you were in it. Thank you, ladies. Well, Peri Pals, my name is Lynette. I'm the founder of the Perimenopause Project, and my aim is to educate women so they can be equipped with as much information that they need to empower themselves during this transition. So, in this video, we're going to start with the basics: what perimenopause is, why it occurs, and some other solutions that we can use to get us through this very challenging time in our lives. If this seems of interest to you and you're a woman between the ages of 35 and 47, then definitely stick around because you'll get something from this video. In order for me to help as many women as I can, could you do me a favor, please, if you don't mind? Number one, like this video. Number two, subscribe to this channel. I want to get in front of as many eyes as I can. Once you've watched it, if you got something from this, please share it with a peri pal or a woman in your group, your perimenopause sister, whatever you want to call her. Share this video with her, and hopefully maybe she can get something from it. I'll give you a second to do that, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the video. So again, imagine you're coasting through life, right? And everything is going well. And then all of a sudden you are hit with a barrage of different symptoms. And you're like, what in the world is this? And then you find out maybe like that you're in perimenopause. Oh, this is the video that I wish I would have had around that time. So I think I began around 35 and it really began to ramp up around 37, 38. But anyhow, this isn't about me. It's all about you. And more importantly, it's all about what perimenopause is. So let's go ahead and start with the definition. Perimenopause is the transition before menopause when your hormones begin to shift. Now, the difference between the two is perimenopause can last anywhere from 2 to 12 years. Whereas menopause is mainly 12 months because it is the time in which you don't have a period. So if you don't have a period in 12 months, you then enter into menopause. But perimenopause is its first cousin and it prepares the body for that big transition of menopause. So just to give you some averages, the average age of a woman entering into perimenopause is typically mid 40s. However, women can enter into it early. So let's say mid 30s or even early 40s. So being in perimenopause causes fluctuations of progesterone and estrogen. So that can cause a whole multitude of different symptoms that are individual to each woman who's in perimenopause. And I really want to stress in this video, if you're having some of the symptoms that I'm about to go over, or if you don't have any of them, that's totally normal. Some women don't have any perimenopause symptoms. God bless them. But some of us do have them. And again, this list isn't exhaustive. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm not going through that, or she didn't say this. But this is just based on research and also some personal research from me and what I'm going through. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and go into the symptom list. So, number one is you have fluctuating cycles, like you have periods that seem to be consistent and then they may slip up or skip a month, or you could be like me, have two in 1 month like I did last month. Oh, that was fun. But if you have any sort of irregularities with your cycle, you could be in perimenopause if you're between those age groups that I discussed earlier. Next, I've talked about this extensively on this channel because to me, this is what really did me in, was the sleep disruptions. So it's not only just the difficulty in falling asleep, but it's staying asleep. And so I've done some content about that on this channel. So I'll put one of the videos above so you can watch it at your leisure time. But if you're not able to sleep and stay asleep, it could be because of perimenopause. Next are the mood swings. Some days I don't even want my panties to touch me. I'm like, oh, girl. That's how it gets to be with perimenopause. Oh, so that's, I think, one of the worst parts, the mood swings. So anxiety, the depression, all these different things happen because of the fluctuation of the hormones as we're in this transition period before menopause. Ooh, this next one is the brain fog. I remember being in a conversation with someone and I couldn't remember the name for spoon. It made me question everything in my life. I was like, am I a native English speaker or is English my second language? I don't know. And I normally would pride myself in being articulate and being able to, be quick-witted. Not now. It takes a second, especially if I'm not well rested. Oh, you can forget about it. I barely even know my name. So, brain fog, if you're experiencing that, you're not alone and it is all up and through perimenopause. Oh, this next one was a little difficult for me. The physical changes, whether that's weight gain or joint issues. For me, I noticed I was getting fat in places I ain't never had fat before. Like the back fat, I was like, oh. Mm-mm. And then that sent me on a whole nother trip to understand that my glucose was messed up, but that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother video. But if you're having, excess weight gain, some joint issues, and I think people are saying something about their eyesight, because again, everybody's going to be different because each body is different, but that's part of perimenopause. So the body will change for sure because it's getting ready for that next phase of womanhood. Another one is low libido, and some women also experience vaginal dryness. For me, it was a low libido. I was like, I'd rather eat a pizza, a whole pizza, than to do anything. Okay, I'm being silly. I'm cutting up. But seriously, it really is like someone turned off a faucet and I was like, okay, I'll go work out. I'll get a hobby. I'll do something else. It's very difficult. I can say it in jest because I'm unmarried, but I'm sure the women who are married and are in serious long-term relationships, I'm sure it's very difficult, but it is something that can occur in perimenopause. This last one blew me, as the younger folks say. I was like, why are my ears itching? It felt like there was a small organism or person shrunk down in my ear who was sprinkling around itching salts in my ear canal. If you have experienced this, let me know in the comments. But if you have not, God bless you. I can't even describe it because it's like I have to use my thumb and I go like this to really kind of loosen it up. I don't even know. It can't even be loosened, but it's just like the worst aggravating feeling. And that's a result of estrogen dropping down. That's what causes that. So if you're having itchy ears, it's not just you, boo. Peri pal, you are not alone. But baby, that is the most annoying thing. And for me, it happens in the morning or in the evening if it does occur. But I find if I take my antihistamine, it does help, but it is still an aggravating thing. One of the most frustrating things about perimenopause is that it's hard to be diagnosed, because what if you are a woman who's 35 or 36 and you begin experiencing these symptoms? People will tell you, like they probably told me, my physicians told me, oh no, you're too young. Oh no, you got some years ahead of you. And then, especially when I was that age, I looked younger than I was. Now that I know what I know now, is definitely what it is, but they will misdiagnose it off that, or, or that's not even a misdiagnosis. They'll just, oh no, they'll just pacify it or push it to the side, but they will often misdiagnose it as thyroid issues or anxiety or depression because some of the symptoms can be quite similar. Those vasomotor symptoms can be very similar to other things, especially if you're younger. Now, when you get to be around 43, 44, I feel like physicians are more inclined to say, yeah, it could be perimenopause, but anyhow, it is misdiagnosed. And then secondly, the lab testing. Our hormones are in such an interesting pattern at this time. Our hormones can shift from 1 hour to the next, from one day to the next, definitely from 1 week to the next. So it's important that you ask your physician, when would be the best time to get my labs done so we can see what's going on hormonally. But my peri pals, that means you have to keep impeccable notes about your cycles and also your symptoms. That's another thing I do, and will talk about this in every single video because I think it's so important to be able to go to your doctor's office and say, hey, I have this symptom from time to time. They'll be like, okay. But if you can say, hey, on April 15th, on May 1st, May 7th, May 23rd, I had this symptom. Look at this frequency here. What does it say to you? Or what should I be thinking about this? You see how one conversation is a little bit more empowered than the other one? That's why it's so important to track your symptoms. And I created a free symptom tracker for you, and I'll put it beneath this video so you can go ahead and get that, and you can begin to write down your symptoms. And in addition to that, and also begin to write down your period dates as well. That way you can really track the irregularities and not just say, yeah, my period's been all over the place. A doctor hears that and they're just like, okay, that's standard, but you want information that's made just for you. So be as specific as you can be. Remember, the goal and the aim of this channel is for you to become your own advocate, and you can get what you need out of your doctor's appointments. Because if your doctor's appointments are anything like mine, I have to pay for parking. It's a whole thing. When you finally get there, you want it to be as impactful as it can be. Lastly, my peri pals, stay persistent. consistent. Know that you are not alone, and know that this isn't in your mind and you're not going crazy. One of your symptoms could be something completely different from anything that I've listed or mentioned in this video, and that is okay because that is your experience. There's some women who have frozen shoulder when they're going through this. I've never experienced that, but you have. So definitely make sure that you are not throwing anything away because you haven't heard anyone else say it. No, that's your experience. Take it with you and present it well in the doctor's office. Next, I urge you to use this channel as your guide as you go through perimenopause. Again, I am not a medical professional, but I am a researcher by trade as a professional writer. That's one of the things that I do. And I go deep into the trenches, finding scientific journals and other information to help you understand why and how and what is going on with your body. So use this channel as your guide. And my hope is that one day we will have a community of women who are just in a space, once I build it, just helping each other out, talking about our experiences, a safe space to talk about our experiences. But just know that you're not alone until that time comes. Definitely check out every single upload that I make or every time I post to this channel so you will be in the loop, and definitely turn on that bell notification icon so you won't miss anything. So below I made a research that talks about how and why your sleep is disrupted, and if you want to change your sleep patterns and get better sleep, then definitely download it. You can see it'll be labeled beneath this video, so you can click on that, follow instructions, and you'll get the free guide. And again, don't forget your symptom tracker as well. Well, that's it for this video. We went over what is perimenopause, the purpose and the intention for this channel, and how, number 3, you are not alone and you're not crazy and you're not in your head. Get all of these things out of your mind and out of your experience onto paper so you can present them to your doctor to feel better every single day. Once again, my name is Lynette and I am from the Perimenopause Project, and it's been an honor to sit before you, and I hope this information helps. I'll see you in the next upload.